Hello and welcome to your Katie Bell Physiotherapy and Wellness Workout. This time we're going to be working on progressing some levels of some familiar exercises and challenging ourselves in terms of strength and also endurance. So first of all, before we get started, we want to open up our body and prepare for those slightly more challenging exercises. So I've got an old hockey ball here. You might like to use a tennis ball or a spiky ball, and we're going to do a little bit of release. So first of all, we're going to come and release over the front of our chest. Now if you've had any surgery, or especially if you have a pacemaker, I don't want you to do this. You may prefer to come and massage onto the top of the shoulder, or maybe choose an alternative like your feet or into your upper back against the wall, which works for you. So if you are joining me though, take your ball, bring it across the opposite side of the chest and massage across the front of the chest. Now I'm going to do this in sitting so you can watch what I'm doing, but if you like to, you may choose to come and lay down. We are going to come into that position very soon anyway, and in that position what happens is your neck relaxes, your shoulders relax, and actually you can work a little bit more into these pectoral muscles. Now you'll see I'm staying very high. I can feel the ball just nudging along my collarbone. So I'm massaging into that collarbone and just creating a little bit of pressure underneath it, helping to open up that pressure, any tension that might be stopping me. I particularly can feel a little bit more tension and that sort of achy, sort of muscular massage feeling out here towards the edge of my shoulder, almost towards my armpit. But I'm not going right down into that lymphatic tissue or into my chest. I'm staying nice and high into the muscles. Okay, last little one here. And then we're going to swap sides. So you can already feel how this shoulder starts to feel different and already feels looser. You may even like to test this out by taking your arms in and out, or maybe up above your head, behind your back, and just see if you can notice the difference without having done any stretches, how much easier this movement is on that side. Okay, let's do it on the other side. So again, remember, staying away from any scar tissue, pacemakers, especially if you've got any recent fractures to your collarbone or your ribs. This is not what I'm going to be encouraging you to do. You may choose to just gently come out here onto the side of your armpit. So thinking along the front border of your armpit, just massaging down the front here, that might be a nice alternative for you. Okay, so massaging through, you're looking for that sort of slightly gristly, slightly almost reactive. I can feel the muscles, so I'm almost kind of like wants to squirm away slightly where I'm feeling a little bit tighter. So I'm just going to work into that area for a moment or two. Now we're not spending particularly long here, but this is going to make a real difference to the movement, but also the connection down and through your body, because actually your arms, your pecs work with your abdominals, and they also work with your inner legs, which seems very, very strange, I know. But it is a pretty marvellous, amazing way that our body works. Okay, I'm going to finish that there. Now, if you haven't already, come and have a lie down on your back. So I'm just going to pop a cushion here down onto the floor, and I'm going to come and have a lie down on my back. So laying here now, I'm going to place my ball, I'm going to lift my hips up, I'm going to place my ball into my lower back here. So I'm using the side that's nearest the screen here. So I'm just to the side of my spine, above the rim of my pelvis, and my hips are lifted off the floor like I'm thinking of doing a bridge. And I'm just going to glide my hips left and right. So you should be in that soft gap of your waist, so above your pelvis, below your ribs. Now move it slightly up now, so you're just onto that lowest rib, so that last rib. And again, have another little wriggle around. Can you find any gristly, tight areas? Can you work into that tension? Can you see if you can make a little bit more space in your body? Okay, two more little wiggles there. Now, you've got a choice here. Either you can stay here doing the wriggles and continuing that release, or you can take hold of that same leg. So I've got it underneath this near side of the back. I'm pushing through the opposite leg, pushing through that foot, still keep my hips up. I'm just hugging my knee towards my chest, creating that little bit more pressure. 3, 2, 1, and then release down. Okay, let's lift the hips up, pop the ball right into the middle of your bottom cheek again. Little wiggle left and right. And gliding my hips side to side, and I'm looking for the ball to be somewhere in that gap between my tailbone, the side of my hip, and my sitting bone. So if you imagine a triangle, tailbone and hip, and then sitting bone, that little lower part of your bottom, see if you can wiggle around there. And to be honest, you don't have to go very far to find that area that feels tight. Okay, so I'm onto that point that feels a little bit reactive there. I'm going to slide that leg in and out now. So muscle release is really, really effective way to get your body fitter, stronger, moving better, feeling better, much faster. It also helps you get a lot more out of your workout, no matter which one you're doing. Okay, last one here. I'm going to lift my hips up and I'm going to move the ball. Can you see how I'm moving out towards the pelvis? So it's just here, right on the edge of my pelvis. I'm not sort of in the middle of my bottom, it's almost could slip out to the side. And this time I'm going to roll my knees towards you and then back to the centre. So I'm leaning into that ball and then coming back to the middle, towards and the centre, towards and the centre. That's it, massaging in. So we're going left and right. And you should feel that pressure pushing down into the outside of the glutes there. Creates a lovely release for the side of the hip, and this really helps us with some of our stability work that we're going to do shortly, where we're coming into high kneeling. Okay, last one here, and then when you're ready, let's lift the hips up, and this time we're going to move the ball over onto the opposite side. So I'm going to spin around so you can see what I'm doing, but you stay where you are. So again, bringing the ball over onto the second side, popping it here underneath the waist. So can you see that peeping out? So I'm on my second side now and I'm sweeping left and right. So I'm going across my body, side to side, nudging towards, but not over the spine. Now, of course, with all of these workouts, with them being home workouts, if anything doesn't feel right for your body, of course, I want you to stop. See if you can adjust them, see if you can adapt them, and if it's not working, if it's not helping you, then just stop the workout, pop us an email and we'll see what we can do to help. Okay, little side to side, got a little glide. Okay, now option number one, stay doing this, still really a lovely way of doing it, either going higher up towards the ribs or lower down towards the pelvis. If not, let's bring that same knee in, and I'm trying to keep the ball still underneath where I can keep that little bit of tension, and I can feel that the kind of muscular reaction. For me, I can feel a little bit of referral coming down towards my pelvis. I'm going to stay there for 10 more seconds, taking some lovely deep breaths, because my ball is slightly higher up towards my ribs, so I know I'm in that connection that also links to my breathing. Last one there. When you're ready, pop the foot down. Okay, let's move the ball right underneath the centre of the bottom cheek. So I'm almost down to my sitting bone. So I'm going to slide my hips left and right. And it shouldn't take you too long to find it. If this feels too sensitive, you might like to switch to a softer ball. So as I said, I'm using an old hockey ball. You might have, if I was struggling with this, I might switch to a tennis ball. Okay, left and right. Now hold that there and let's slide the leg in and out. This is a great way for releasing those deep hip rotators. Anything that might be causing a little bit of variation in our movement, which can really have a knock-on effect for the quality of our workout. Okay, 2 more little glides. Fantastic. Okay, let's move the ball out to the edge of the pelvis. So you can see my ball just peeking out at the side of my hips here. I'm going to roll my knees towards you, so over the ball, then back to the middle. Over the ball, back to the middle. And I'm looking for just that little bit of pressure coming into the hip. You should be in this soft gap below the rim of the pelvis, but above the hip joint itself. So if you're rolling and you feel it catching your hip joint, just move the ball up a centimetre. Okay, let's do 2 more here. To be honest, I feel like I could probably just spend an hour doing some release, and that would make me feel much, much better anyway. Okay, so let's pop that ball out the way. We're all done with that now. Now, I personally would encourage you to be doing some ball release most days, and especially sort of towards a day, or if you've had a lot of time sort of in one place, being very, very stationary. So my ball is getting a little bit adventurous, so we'll block that there. Okay, so right then, let's go into our warm-up. So I'm going to bring you back up into standing. Now, before you start some of your workout, what I want you to have ready, as you can see, I've got a cushion, so I've been using just a home cushion for my head support. You can use a towel instead if you prefer. I've also got out my trusty Pilates ball. This is one of my favorite bits of equipment. This is my go-to must-have at home for everybody. But if you don't have one of these, Football, that can work quite well. A nice thickly rolled up towel or nice big cushion rolled over, pop between your knees. And when we're doing it, we're going to be using it for different parts. And I'm using it really today just to create some more activation in my body. So I'm going to pop those bits of equipment out the way. I don't need them to start with. And let's come up into standing. So peeling yourself up into standing, I'm going to come towards the end of my mat. And I'm going to come nice and tall and long. Okay, so I want you facing along your mat. And I'm going to start by turning towards you, but you face along your mat because we're going to come out onto our mat in a second. So, starting in this position, I want you to set those feet underneath your hips. So make sure your toes and your feet are pointing roughly forwards and just curl and round that lower back, finding that gentle soft curve. Ground your weight into your feet. So into the big toe, the little toe and the heels, softening those knees. Let's take a double shoulder roll. As we do this, just feel the shoulder blades gliding. I want you to see as you do it, if you can keep these ribs still. So by that I mean, we're just moving the shoulder blades, so we're not arching the back and slumping the back. We keep them completely still. So you might feel you need to activate very gently here into your core to create that. Okay, last two, last one. Okay, let's take that into a V. So we roll. Reach the fingertips long. Lovely. Roll. Reach those fingertips long. So as you do this, you're creating a length through the front of the body. I'm not particularly dragging my hands down. I'm almost imagining they're like elastic bands and they're just being gently pulled away from me. Roll and reach. Roll and reach. Well done. Let's do two more. And reach. Last one. Roll and reach. Okay, so in that position now, you're going to roll those shoulders, open out. Now, sweep your hands all the way up into the sky and then back down again. And again, roll, reach to your V. Now connect those shoulder blades together, connect that core in, breathe out. Inhale back in, and again, roll, sweep. So we're creating this nice long length through the front of the chest and the arms. And you can feel yourself just gently suspended and supported through your shoulder blades. Exhale. And again, one more time. So hopefully already, just through that bit of release, those shoulder rolls and those little windmills, we'll already feel like we're standing longer and lighter and taller. Okay, so I'm going to come and join you now at the ends of your mat. So nice and long and tall. From here, exhale, peel your chin, roll your head down towards your chest and drape yourself over your legs, dangling towards your toes. Holding for a breath in and breathe out, roll all the way back up again. So imagine our spine long and straight, and then imagine it just peeling and wilting forward. So come first of all through the chin. Exhale, connect through the core. So you've still got this strength and this lift here in the pelvis and the core. This enables you to release the spine and get that lovely smooth movement. Dangling down. And then peeling back up again. Only going as far as is appropriate for you. Feel free, if this doesn't work for you, to choose an alternative movement, maybe like some side bends or some mermaid stretches to start mobilizing that spine. Okay, now as it's the next level, we're going to change this very slightly. I want you to bring your feet very close together, almost like you're zipping your legs up. And again, from here, nice and tall, let's peel down through the center, nice and long and lifted through those legs, connected through the core and peel down through the shoulders. Now try not to grip with those legs, just keep them activated and working. And then peeling back up again. What difference did you notice? I can feel my hamstrings working a little bit more on my right leg, but that's my weaker leg. Let's go again. Can you notice any other difference? Do you feel maybe a little bit more wobbly? Do you feel like you're having to work slightly harder? Or does it feel a little bit easier for you? Okay, let's change that again. This time we're going to take our feet out nice and wide. So you stay at the end of your mat, I'm just turning so you can see. Tuck that tailbone under and again, roll down, peeling all the way through. Now, don't lose that pelvis. So by that I mean don't pop your arch your back out. Tuck the tailbone under. So imagine that somebody has got a piece of string attached to your tailbone. And as you roll back up, it's like they're pulling that tailbone back down again. So at the moment, if I was standing at the end of my mat, my toes are pointing to my mat, my heels are on my mat, off I go, rolling down. Keep these legs active but not locked. Go on, it's at that point as you start flexing forwards that you've got that little bit of a tension going through the back of the pelvis. Now anchor through the feet. Imagine you're almost sucking your heels together and roll back up again. Whoop, all the way tall. Make sure we're not landing in that arch, tuck that tailbone. This is going to be much more challenging for that lower back position. One more time in this lovely turn out position. Exhale, peeling all the way down. Heavy through the head, heavy through the arms, connected through the core. Support the body as it moves. And then peeling back up again, nice and tall. Long through that spine, all the way up into standing. Lovely. Okay, let's step our feet back in. Coming to the end of your mat again. This time I want you to roll down and we're going to walk our hands either out into hands and knees or just straight into your downward dog. It's up to you. So exhale, peeling through the spine, all the way down towards the floor, using that core to support. And then exhale either out to your downward dog or follow me down onto your knees. Planting your hands out nice and wide, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and then send yourself into downward dog. You don't have to have straight legs. As you breathe out, you've got the choice of either walking your hands in or bringing those knees back down, walking those hands in and then peeling up into standing. Lovely. Let's go again. So when you're ready, exhale. You're going to peel all the way through that spine. You've got your choices now. So you're either down to the knees, then up into downward dog, or you're going to walk out. Find your downward dog, send the hips up high, connect those ribs in, hold for the breath in, and then walk yourself back in. Peeling the spine nice and long. As we do this, we try not to sway forwards or backwards through those hips. Keep this length nice and long. Off we go again. Peeling down through the spine, heavy arms, heavy head, all the way down. Walk those hands out. Now, push those hands into the floor. Lift those hips up nice and high, connect through the core. Nice big deep breath in here, but this time everybody bring your knees down towards the floor and then walk yourself up into high kneeling. Okay, so this is where you might like your ball. So I'm going to reach and grab my ball. These are absolutely fantastic little props. I love them for getting glutes and getting your core switching on. So if you tend to have problems at your core, you find it difficult to get your pelvic floor, your inner core switching on, you might like the ball here between your knees. If you have a little bit more maybe lower back pain or a bit more of an arch lower back, your glutes maybe don't fire quite as well, you can pop the ball in between your ankles. Okay, so we're going to be doing our chicken wings now. So I'm going to pop the ball here between my ankles, so you can probably see it peeking just through there. I'm going to engage through my heels or engage through my inner legs holding the ball. Okay, we're going to go into our chicken wings. So I'm going to float my hands up towards you, hold for the breath in. As I breathe out, I'm going to draw my elbows back. So you can see how my hands and my elbows and my shoulders are all staying in the same line. So I'm not sort of dropping back here or one's going higher than the other. Draw back and release. And again, exhale. Now imagine somebody's got hold of your elbow creases and then fold your elbows back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. As you do this, we don't arch with the back. We keep the connection into the ball. So whether that's between your inner legs or between your ankles, squeeze through the ball, your cushion or your block, whatever you're using, and we get that lovely little squeeze. Exhale. And again, exhale. Meet that with your pelvic floor. Well done. Let's do two more. Last one. Okay, stay here. Rotate up and rotate down. Now this is where we start to work a little bit more into the shoulder stabilizers, and we're also getting that nice coordination. Now see, can you get them to go both at the same speed, or is one rushing ahead? Can you get them to meet? It's almost like somebody's popped a broomstick along the back of the arms and the shoulders, sellotaped you on, and you're just rotating from the arms. You can't actually move your arms forward. Okay, next time, let's come here, hold it here. Engage that core, breathe out, squeeze to the ball. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now feel free to move with your breath cycle. Don't let yourself be pushed along by my speed or trying to kind of do more repetitions. We want the breath to coordinate. So breathe out as you go up, inhale back down. That's it, lovely, well done. Keep going. Hopefully those arms are starting to talk to you. Try and keep those elbows nice and wide. Okay, can we alternate between those two moves? So we rotate forward, reach towards the screen. Now draw those elbows back, rotate to your house sign and up towards the sky. Down, rotate, reach. Back, rotate and reach. Down, rotate and reach. Back, rotate and reach. Well done. Lovely. So I use my out breath here as I squeeze back. And again, exhale down. Exhale back. Rotate and exhale down. Now, are you still squeezing onto that ball or block, or have you forgotten? Usually we forget, or we've lessened that activation. And just notice how when you squeeze it, how much more solid, how much more supported you feel in the rest of your core. Okay, have your arms lost sensation yet? Are you cursing me? Last one. When you're ready, release those arms down. Give those arms a nice little swing, or give those shoulders a nice roll. Well done. You should get that lovely warm feeling that we get after working those muscles now into your shoulder. Okay, we're going to stay here in this position. Any problems at your knees, either come into standing or come into sitting. It's absolutely fine, whichever you prefer to do. So I'm going to bring my hands up in front of me. So from here, I'm going to go a little offering. So an offering is where I reach forward, open wide, and then come back in again. So I reach towards you, open wide, and come back in. So a long, soft reach through that middle finger. And again, like we did earlier on, open long through these collarbones. Almost imagining breath out, extend, so you're breathing out through your fingertips. I'm going to rotate round to the side so you can see what I'm talking about. So I start here, flexed elbow, forward, out, and in. That's it. Exhale, and in. Exhale, and in. Last one. Hold it here. Nice long reach through those fingertips, connect through the core, connect into the knees, long spine. 3, 2, 1, release those shoulders. Well done. You can pop your ball out of the way if you want to. And I'm going to come down into my hands and knees now. I'm going to take a little cat stretch. So I'm going to roll my spine so I look down towards my knees. And then I'm going to release it so it's long. So I'm not arching and pushing upwards. I'm just round the spine. And then release the spine. Exhale, round the spine. And release the spine. Let's do 2 more. Round the spine. And release the spine. 1 more as you are. Sending that wave up the spine. And then come back to the centre here. Okay, we're going to use our wag the tail just to round off our warm up. And we're going to sweep our hips to the left and the right. So my chest and my shoulders aren't moving. I pinch my waist on one side as I release and soften my hip away on the other side. I feel my ribs just gently lifting in towards my spine as my hips go sweep and sweep, sweep and sweep. That's it. Let's do 1 more in each direction. And when you're ready, feel free to take yourself all the way down into a shell stretch or a puppy stretch if you prefer. Taking 3 nice deep breaths here. So let's bring ourselves up into hands and knees, and we're going to go into our thread the needle. Let's start with some nice mobility just to open up that spine. So taking the hand furthest away from the screen, float it out to the side, the palm is facing down. Let's slide the hand now underneath our front arm, reaching towards me, lowering your shoulder towards the floor. Take a nice big deep breath in and stay here, just gently mobilising the spine. You may like to reach this top arm up towards the top of the mat. I want you now just to gently rock your hips from left to right. Now we're not trying to force ourselves into a deep stretch. We're just gently nudging
Feel that slight resistance. Now, as you feel this resistance, so as I go across, away from you, I can feel a bit more resistance. So I take a breath in, and I breathe out, release. And again, and release. So you breathe in on the resistance, helping to deepen the stretch around the spine and the ribs. And again, this is just a nudge, we're not forcing. One more here. And then when you're ready, slide this top hand back in, engage the core, and let's lift that arm all the way up towards the sky, turning the chest away from the screen. Taking a nice big deep breath in here. Lovely, let's swap and try that the other way. So I'm going to turn to face towards the screen so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm using my second side. So now, take your hand that's closest to the screen, the second side, palm facing towards the floor, and let's thread it through onto the floor. I'm going to reach this front arm out, and now you'll see I'm just nudging across. And again, meeting that nudge. So as I nudge away from my hands, so I'm nudging to the right for me, I'm taking a deep breath in and out. I'm just seeing if I can create a little bit more space there. Now I'm not pushing down into my head, into the floor. I'm weight bearing into my shoulder. I'm using my core as I breathe out and nudging my hips side to side. One more time here. When you're ready to slide that supporting hand in. And now we rotate that hand all the way out to the side. Nice counteracting stretch. And squeeze those shoulder blades slightly together and down, pressing out of this supporting hand. And then when you're ready, let's release. And we're going to come into our hands and knees position. So we're going to go now into our plank position. So I want you to step one leg out to start with. So I'm going to start with my leg that is closest towards you. And then from here, I'm just going to give my ankles a little bit of mobility. I'm just going to practice coming forwards into my shoulders. So you can see how, yes, I'm moving, I'm pushing off with my toes, but actually it's the shoulders that are changing that connection. I'm coming over, moving the shoulder joints. Okay, let's switch over to the other side, extend the other leg out, engage the core, and then rock. That's it, forwards and backwards. Nice little sort of gliding here. Breathe out as you knock forwards into that movement, engaging that core. Okay, now if for any reason you don't go into a full hand position, you prefer elbow, or if you prefer maybe coming to your knees, that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to show you the slightly higher level version for us to do today as we're going into our next level. So bringing our hands in, I'm going to extend one leg out, I'm going to connect my core and bring my second leg out. Okay, so from here I'm going to take myself, I'm going to knock forwards into this little plank position, then I'm going to rock back and up into my downward dog. So I rock forwards into my plank, send my shoulders away from my ears, and then push the hips high. Imagine I'm pushing the mat up and over my head. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. Just gently nudging between those two, keeping that lovely long length of your spine, not letting the neck drop or the back sort of round or fix. We're keeping the length. Okay, on this next one here, instead of going to plank, come down to your kneeling position. I'm going to step our hands. So now, I want your hands sort of at shoulder height, so we're nice and level here. We're going to go into our cat stretch. So practice that for me first of all. So exhale, tuck and round the lower back, pushing the palms into the floor, looking down at the knees. Take a breath in. Breathe out and then peel that spine out long again. And again, tuck with the tailbone, lift with the core, breathing out, scoop from the tailbone up towards the top of the spine. And then release. Okay, let's do two more of these. Just gently rounding that spine. And back out. One more time, really creating that smooth curling action. And then restack. Okay, so let's step our hands forwards again. We're going to hitch up into our plank position. And then we're going to start by going back to our downward dog plank action we were doing before. So this is very much a hinging action that we're getting at the hips now. So it's like somebody's lifting your hips up towards the sky and then they're lowering them back down again. Okay, this time let's come to downward dog. Instead of going forwards in a flat spine, so you're in a neutral spine now, we're going to tuck your bottom under, round your lower back like you're doing a cat stretch. Peel yourself forwards into your plank and then uncurl your spine. Let's hitch back. And again, exhale, round, 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 all the way through, and land yourself into your long spine. Hitch up. And again, round. Now push up onto those toes. Imagine as you tuck that bottom under. So at the beginning here from your down dog, tuck the bottom, engage the core, push up with those toes, all the way forwards into your plank position. Let's do 3 more of those. Exhale, lift, round the back. Go on, curl through that spine. Now unpeel into your long plank. Exhale, curl, round. Take this in your own time, elongating that spine. Can you do one more for me? Rounding, lifting, and then long through that spine. When you're ready, send yourself back. Allow yourself to come to this nice rest position again. 3 long breaths in your shell stretch. Either taking those hands behind you, turning your head to one side, taking 2 breath cycles, and then turning your head to the other side. Or you may prefer arms out nice and long, palms turned up, and letting the arms go soft into the floor. Okay, when you're ready, let's walk ourselves up into sitting. Okay, so we're going to come sideways on the mat now. Now I have got snuck off to the side here a little block. You can use a book, you could use a little box, you could use a footstep if you want to. You don't have to have one of these blocks, but if you are struggling with alignment or you compromise on this, then I would get yourself something just to pop your hand onto. Just enough, I mean this one's just an inch or 2 thick, just enough so I can really work on my optimal position. So I'm going to come into my high kneeling position here. I'm just going to talk to you about your spinal position I want you to aim for as you do this. So if I turn sideways, what I want you to think about is that this naturally, because this is quite a stretched position for the front of our legs, sometimes that can tilt our pelvis forward. So scoop under, relax those ribs down, and grow tall through the back of the shoulders and the neck. So on this connect, so connect at the ribs, connect at the hips, and then we're lifting long all the way through the crown of the head. That's what we're aiming for in these positions that we're going into now. Okay, so I'm going to turn back to face the front. So we're going to extend our leg out. So pop your right leg out to the side and bring your left hand down onto the floor. So you just want to first of all make sure that you can make it to the floor. If you're here, you're struggling or you're flexing or you're losing that hip connection, rib in position, you need to make this higher. So you might need to turn your box on its side or add another book. You can go to a fist, you can go to fingertips as long as you've got a good support, or you can go to flat palm. Okay, so we're going to start with our surrender, okay? So from here, we're going to bring our top hand to our head. We're going to exhale, we're going to slowly come up, and then lower back down again. Just tap that hand to the floor and up we come. So it's like our body is a windscreen wiper. We're exhaling on the way up. Inhale. And then exhale back down. That's it. Now see if you can make these movements nice and even and steady. Trying not to sort of drop at certain points quickly or hitch yourself up. Try and make it almost like a smooth action to one side, equal pace back up again. Okay. Now, can you start playing around a little bit more of this rhythm? So we're going to go down for 3, 2, 1, pause, then up. And again, down for 3, 2, 1, pause, and up. Okay, keep going like that. So down for 3. Little pause, but not heavy in the hand, then straight back up. Now keep going like that. If you have any problems though around the hip or the knee, you might prefer to either come into this sort of Mr. Darcy sort of proposal position, or you might like to just soften the leg forwards. I don't know if you can see that. It's almost like I've taken it from extension, I've flexed the knee, I've got a slightly soft leg position here now, but my pelvis is still staying the same. I'm still doing my 1, 2, 3, straight back up. Okay, so I'm going to stay with a straight leg position. Okay, one more as you are, and now we're going to bring long arms. So reach up over the top, and then we sweep the other way. Back to your full rhythm. All the way over to the top, and then all the way the opposite way. Now keep that nice active connection in your hips,
and into your ribs at the front. So do you remember when I was showing you in high kneeling? Press the hips slightly forwards, so I'm pushing over this left knee and I'm drawing and connecting down into my core here. I'm not letting my back arch. Okay, now this time, slowly, 3, 2, 1, stretch, breath in, and straight back down. And again, off you go, slowly, 3, 2, 1, pause, look up for that breath in, and all the way down. Last one, go on, 3, 2, 1, look up, well done. Okay, bring this hand down, we're going to float this leg off, and we're going to start by tapping that leg forwards and backwards on the mat. Now again, we shouldn't be feeling this in the lower back. If you are, see if you can reset, bring that hip forward, bring these ribs in. It might even be that you need to bring your block slightly forwards, so you've got this nice long collarbone and head position. Again, if your leg is not happy in this position, come to a flex position and imagine you're doing the movement from your knee rather than in the extended position where you're doing this in your leg. So nice and long, tap, 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 tap. That's it, well done. Imagine you're hopping over a little fence. Go on, keep going there. Long through the leg, long through the neck. Well done. Now, can we bring the leg up into the air and flex the foot back, point the toes forwards. Flexing back, pointing forwards. Lovely, you've got that sweeping action going now. Now keep this connection in the body. We don't want to be arching and collapsing as we do it. Lengthen up. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring this leg forwards, bring your hands over, and just have a little rock forwards and backwards or side to side, releasing off any tension. Okay, I'm going to release my legs from here. Just going to take myself into a little side bend each way, just so I can create some space around my body, releasing any tension from that previous exercise. Okay, so from here now, we are going to come into our side plank. So you can get rid of your block if you don't want it. If you're doing a kneeling side plank, you might like to bring your ball in between your knees or your cushion in between your knees to really help that connection here up into the core. So any problems maybe around diastasis or back pain or anything like that, stay on the knees, pop the cushion in between the knees, really help to work on that whole body connection. Okay, I'm going to come down onto my hand now. I'm going to pop my legs out to the side. So your kneeling position, you flex the feet behind you, you've got this kind of parallel shin position, and you're going to lift up nice and long and then sit back. So I'm sitting back on the mat rather than dropping down here into the shoulder. If we're going to our full position, let's extend our legs out. So we've got that nice long leg position. I'm still flexing my knees, sitting down, and then I drive those legs strong and straight and then back down again. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Well done. So we're using that connection, zipping all the way up through our body to get that core connection. And that's why if you're feeling with this position here, this sort of flex position and then coming back straight, you can't maintain it here at the core. That's why I want you to come with your ball or your block, pop it between your knees, and I want you to squeeze the ball here, giving that lovely connection around the front of the pelvis, the tummy and the core. Okay. So keep going, you've got 2 more as you are. Okay, now have a little breather here, release that underneath arm, have a nice big stretch out, releasing the side of the body. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our side bend. So, same exercise as before, we're going to make that nice long diagonal line, then we're going to do the sweeping arm over. So when you're ready, up we come into your side plank, whichever version you're doing, come to your crucifix arm. Now sweep into that side bend and then restack. Exhale over and return. Exhale over, return. Exhale, return. Okay, if you want to, you can go down between these. Keep that connection in the legs. Using the ribs staying in. Let's do 3 more. 2. And 1. Well done. Now stay here for me. Reach, 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 reach. Connect the legs, stay long. Go on. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Release, bend those knees. And again, let's take that lovely counteracting side bend stretch.
Releasing any tension out of the body. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to come and have a lie down on our backs now. So you will need a pillow if you like a bit of head support. You can pop your block out of the way, and you'll need your ball or your cushion or towel, whatever you're using today. So I'm going to come and lie down onto my back here, and I'm going to start with my scissors. I'm going to keep the ball just a hand. I'll come and use that shortly. And first of all, let's just rock forwards and backwards, finding that nice neutral spine, and then settling the spine. Let's relax the hands down to the floor. One leg up, so I'm going to bring the leg that's closest to the screen up, so when you're ready you can copy me. Now switch to your back leg, front leg and back leg. So we're doing this little hop and swap. As I do this, I'm not going particularly fast, I'm not going straight into this tap. I know it's tempting to kind of race ahead, but find that lower back neutral. Lengthen and soften through your collarbones, through your jaw and your neck. Don't rush ahead yet. Give your body a chance to hear and feel how you want it to move. We want a controlled breath. We want relaxed shoulders, relaxed jaw. Well done. Okay, now let's take it up to our double tap. So I'm not crouching in here. I've got this nice high position. Okay, I'm doing a little sort of prancing pony sort of action here. I'm going to do 2 taps for my in-breath and 2 taps for my out-breath. Well done. Go on. 2 taps for in-breath and 2 taps for out-breath. Now let's bring our out-day prep into this. So as we do 2 taps, we're going to raise up into our out-day prep. Ready, steady, and go. 1, 2, hold for 1, 2, down for 1, 2, hold for 1, 2, keep going, up for 2, hold for 2, down for 2, rest for 2, and up for 2, hold for 2, down for 2, rest for 2, keep going, up for 2, hold for 2, down for 2, and rest for 2. One more time, up for 2, hold for 2, down for 2, rest for 2. Okay, bring those legs in, a little bit of release. So you should feel that all in the front of the body, nothing in the lower back. You should feel your pelvic floor switching on, and you should be breathing with that as well. So we breathe out as we go up, we breathe in as we hold, we breathe out as we go down, we breathe in as we rest. Should we give that another go? So when you're ready, let's start first of all through this back leg now. So when you're ready, we're going to go up for 2. Ready, steady, off we go. Up for 2, hold for 2, down for 2, rest for 2. Breathe out and up, hold for the in-breath, down on the out-breath, hold on the in-breath. Off you go. Up for 2, hold for 2, down for 2, rest for 2. Off we go. Out breath, up, hold on that in breath, down on that out breath, hold on that in breath. Rest those legs. Give those legs a nice little stir, giving those knees almost like imagine you're mixing a little pot in your pelvis. Okay, let's release one leg down at a time. I'm going to pop that ball. Actually, let's bring the ball in. We're going to go for our one leg stretch. So let's bring our leg that's furthest away from the screen. I'm going to take the ball in the hand that's closest to you, and I'm going to hold the ball here onto my knee. I'm going to take my arm up into the air, and I'm going to start by stretching that leg in and out along the floor. So I'm just doing a one leg stretch. Now this ball isn't just floating here in the air, I'm gently hugging my knee in. So I'm working harder through this leg than I am through this arm. So I'm not forcing the ball into that leg. I've got a little bit more activation here in my inner leg. Okay, so we go out and in. Out on that out breath, in on that in breath. It's nice and easy to remember on these ones. Okay, so make sure as you stretch that leg out, are you still maintaining this neutral at the lower back? Okay, now, on your next one, we're going to slide out, lift up, lower down and in. Now, any problems at your lower back, you think, oh, that's just a little bit too much, I want you to change this. You're going to kick out, fold down, kick out, fold down. So we end up with a higher lift, so it should be less pressure into your lower back. Any problems, if in doubt, you just stay with the leg sliding in and out. So when you're ready, leg that's furthest away, bring the ball onto the leg, connect here, arm is up into the air, relax the shoulders to the floor. Exhale out, float. Inhale, return. Exhale out, float. Inhale, return. Lovely, well done. So we've got this lovely long length through the spine. You can feel your leg almost rebounding and floating, returning. Exhale out and in. Exhale out and in. Now if your back is okay with this, whichever version you're doing, down here, up here, and pulse, 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 pulse. Go on. Keep that core connected. No work in this neck, no work in the shoulder. Work this inner leg. Go on. 3, 2, 1. Bring those legs in. Again, give those knees a little stir. That's it, wonderful. Okay, I'm going to swap over these legs. So my front leg now is my tabletop. The ball is just hugging onto the inside of my leg. My top arm here is floating up into the air. Can you see how my shoulder just rested down into the floor? So let's start with our leg slides. Exhale out, inhale, return. Exhale out, inhale, return. So make sure that as you do this, this inner leg is connecting out and in, out and in. Now if your arm up is causing you to clench your jaw or your shoulders, just relax it back down again. Exhale out and in. Now if you're happy to, we're going to go float, back in, float, back in. Lovely, it's almost like we're out and we take off and then we land that plane again. So go on, take off and land. If this is a problem, remember you've got the kick and in, kick and in. Well done. Go on, float and in. Float. Breathe out as that leg reaches away. Okay, when you're ready, we've got 3 more. Keep this knee active. That's it. Okay, on your next one. Out we go and pulse, 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 pulse. Keep going, pulse, pulse, pulse. Keep the ribs connected. Don't let yourself arch. Make sure you're not losing that core connection. 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees in. Little stir of the pot. Okay, I'm going to release my legs down to the mat. I'm going to pop the ball in between my knees. So I've got my cushion and my ball in between my knees. My arms are relaxing out nice and wide. And then I just walked my feet together. So they're hugging together. I've got my heels connecting. I'm just going to gently roll left and right. Just taking any tension out of this front line of the pelvis and gently massaging the lower back. Well done. Okay, 2 more here. And what I want you to do now is just take hold of the ball with one hand. Bring your leg up, second leg comes to double tabletop. Again, bring those feet together. And I want you to float these hands just off the floor like you're holding one of our big gym balls, okay? So from here, you do the same thing again. Rock the knees side to side. Keep the feet together, but keep the shoulders and the arms as still as you can. Try not to let your shoulder lift off. So exhale away, inhale, return. Exhale away, inhale, return. If this feels a little bit too much, but it feels too easy to have your feet on the floor, you might like to just rest your heels on the sofa or on your coffee table and just give those feet just a light bit of support. Okay, let's do 3 more each way. Just go on, shoulder blades long. Imagine you're reaching apart with your fingertips, like somebody's pulling your fingertips to the opposite side of the room. That should help you keep your shoulders in that lovely position. 1 more time each way. And again, let's catch these knees, give these knees a lovely little stir. Okay, well, I certainly feel like I'm starting to migrate down my mat. So I'm going to adjust my position and we're going to go into our abdo prep. So I'm going to pop the ball here in between my legs and I'm going to start by just exhaling up, inhaling, returning back down. Now I'm not poking forward through my chin, I'm lengthening long through the back of the neck and I'm sliding here. Almost imagining if these are my ribs, as I come up, they slide underneath my skin and then they lengthen back out again. Now I'm also giving the ball a little squeeze. I'm breathing out as I go up and I'm coordinating with my pelvic floor and core. If your neck is achy, bring your hands just behind your head, creating that little bit of connection just to de-weight the head.
Let's do 2 more. And 1. Now, we're not going to bring our legs up into double tabletop. What I want you to do is, can you walk your legs further away? So they're in this really soft bend. Squeeze the ball and have a go again. And again, up you come. Now, if this has significantly changed it for you, and you're now thinking like, oh my goodness, this is so much harder, the likelihood is that you're a bit overactive in these hip flexors. So I want you to squeeze the ball, squeeze through your pelvic floor, breathe out, and then lift up. This is a great way to help you isolate the abdominals. Imagine that not only are you activating through your pelvic floor, but you're also zipping up this front line of your tummy. So imagine a line going from the front of your pelvis all the way up to your heart, and you exhale, zip all the way up. And again, okay, on this one, can you hold it here? Go on, hold, 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 hold. Now do 5 little squeezes of that ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back down again. This time up we come. Release the hands wide if you can. If you still need to, 1 hand behind the head. Go on, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Catch the head. Release back down. Up we come. Release the hands up towards the sky, but leave those shoulders down. Go on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back down. Last one, we come up and we're going out and in with the arms instead. 3 more. Keep the ball squeezed. 2. Last one. When you're ready, catch the head, roll back in and slide those legs in. Well done. Nice little challenge there, just some little tweaks that you might notice really made a difference to how your abdominals felt. Okay, right then, let's roll over onto our side. We're going to come and bring ourselves to our second side now. So I'm just going to pop my cushion out the way. I don't need that now. I've got my block if I need it. I'm going to pop that down onto the floor, and we've got our gate pose. We've got all of our work here in our side lying position. So let's come up into our high kneeling. So again, remember, we connect at the back in the glutes. We connect here in the ribs. So we've got this complementing connection here into the core. Let's lower the hand down. Extend that leg out. Remember, you've got those alternatives for that leg position if it doesn't feel okay for you. So when you're ready, let's bring the hand to the head. We're doing our surrenders. Exhale up. Inhale lower. Now remember with this that we're not doing that big push off. My hand's just making connection. I'm not here and doing like an explosive push off. It's not an upper body move. We want to isolate here. That's it. Exhale. Inhale. That's it. Well done. Keeping that smooth action, really testing this top line of the body. Now if you need to adjust your leg position to make sure that you're keeping the glutes switched on, this underneath leg, this right leg, that hip is, so that hip is squeezing so you're over the knee. Okay, we're going to come for that long arm position. So when you're ready, over we go and back in. Okay. Over we go, back in. Now, can you take a nice rhythm with us? We go over and 1, no up for 3, 2, 1, and switch. And again, 3, 2, 1, and switch. 3, 2, 1. Go on, can you do 2 more for me? Well done. Let's stay short arm now. So we're going to go down, 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 and up. Down, 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 and up. Well done. Down, 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 and up. 3 more. Down, 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 and up. Last one. Okay, now hand comes down. Remember, if you can't reach this, you need to change your block position. Maybe bring it further forward if you're finding it's going into your lower back. If you bring it forward, I want you to connect those ribs in, almost feeling like you're trying to just open your back a little bit up, almost like it's slightly rounded. Now, I'm going to straighten myself up,
stacking my hips. This leg's going to come up. I'm going to tap forward and tap back. Forward and back. It's like I'm hopping over my mat. Not really trying to go much further than the corners of my mat. And as I do this, I'm concentrating on staying lifted out of this right hip as my left leg goes hop and hop. That's it. Okay, keeping along through the spine. Let's keep these ribs in. Well done. Now we're going to change this now to a little leg sway. So up we come for our side kick. So we point forward, we flex back, point forward, flex back. Now all my effort is here, in my core, in my glutes, in my abs, not in this arm, not in my neck. I'm keeping it centered here. Exhale, core squeezes as you press that heel back. 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, step that leg forwards, come forwards into a little fold. Give that leg a nice little release. Rocking forwards and backwards, or side to side, just to take that pressure out. Well done, really good. Let's release that leg now. Now we're nearly there. We've just got our side planks and our side bends to go. So I'm going to pop my block out the way now. If you are doing your modified side plank, pop that ball in between your knees. If not, let's come nice along with those legs. So I start this slightly sort of diamond shape with my legs. This top leg is ready to weight bear on the inside blade of the foot. So when I'm ready, shoulder connected, exhale, up we come. Inhale, return. Exhale. Inhale. That's it. So I'm shooting out, zipping up through my core and my legs, making that long, straight line. If you are coming with the flex legs, from here, exhale, we're sitting back, nice and tall. I come forward and back, rather than sort of pushing up or dropping into my shoulder. I lift forwards, creating that zip from my knees all the way through to my crown of my head. Okay, so whichever version you're doing, I'm going to pop that out of the way again. Keep going there. Let's do 2 more. Okay, next one, hold it up there. Now, connect the legs, whichever version you do. Connect it at the core, long through the spine, arm comes up. Side bends, off you go. Wave to the camera for me. Exhale over, slide those hips up and back down. Now this is where we are driving through the underneath arm, but we're also squeezing through the legs, using that top leg pressing down as much as the underneath pressing up. Okay, 2 more, and then we're going to that hold. Breathe out. Okay, hold, 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 hold here. Go on, push, push, push. Now reach these fingertips long. Push your feet into the floor, push your knees together, press through the supporting hand. In 3, 2, 1, release the hand, release the hips, sit back down. Now let's take a lovely mermaid side bend. Well done. So getting that lovely counteracting stretch for all that work that we've done in the shoulders. Okay, I think we deserve a little bit of a stretch to finish. So I'm going to get you to roll over onto your front here. Take yourself into a V shell stretch. So I've got my knees apart, my feet together, and I'm folding forwards here. If this doesn't work for you and you find it gives you too much tension in the knees, you might like to pop a block or a cushion behind your knees so you're slightly more lifted up. Or alternatively, stay nice and high with the hips and do a wide puppy stretch. Okay, 2 more breath cycles here. And then when you're ready, fold yourself down into a folded and shell stretch. Let's reach forwards towards the screen. So taking our back arm, threading it under, like we did with our thread the needle earlier. If you're completely rested into your underneath shoulder, so my shoulder here is on the floor, I might like to take my hand behind my opposite hip. Still finding that lovely open position through my chest, but I'm sitting back into my pelvis. Okay, let's swap the other way. So extending that arm out, so I'm taking my front arm now, threading it through, holding it there for a breath in. And when I'm ready, I'm going to take that top arm up and over behind my hip, my opposite hip. So you'll see my palm resting on the back of my hip here now. If that doesn't work for you, hand onto your lower back. It's just perfectly good. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to release those hands, walking those hands in, hitching my knees through. I'm going to take myself back to my cat stretch.
Peeling through the spine. And then we'll wag the tail left and right. Just getting that spine released. Last of all, hips come to the centre. Let's roll these shoulders, taking any remaining tension out of the shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. And come and release. Well done, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your next level workout and found it a good challenge for yourself. I want you to just get your spiky ball or your massage ball out again and have another go at massaging around your glutes, maybe around your lower back, or maybe even higher up around those shoulders. I want you to do that at least once again in the next 24 hours and again in the next sort of about 3 to 4 days time. So make sure you're keeping nice and loose and keeping nice and active. Lovely to see you all. We'll see you on your mat.